welcome. This is Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television from the economic capital of Nigeria. My name is Henry Igwebike and this is Enterprise Television. Let's get started, of course, starting with our newspapers, and right after that will be our main conversation. Also for today, please do well to be part of what we do. Have a say in what we say. You can always find and reach us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment and follow us from all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. We're very so honored to have with us, joining us via Zoom from Lagos State, Nigeria, Emeka Madunago, journalist, public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, Emeka, and welcome.
Yeah, good morning. Hello, viewer.
Thank you so very much for your time. Now let's get cracking like this, starting with our first daily, and I think let's start with the Punch newspaper. We have the first story here. Marketers import 436 billion naira worth of petrol amid a row with Dangote. Global health at risk as a funding crisis hits WHO. And also, Tinubu 2027 bid. APC caught opposition governors with high stakes offers. And also, we have the writer to that particular story. Governors offered ministerial appointments, return tickets to nominate successors, NAS members, and others. 120 suspected Lagos internet fraudsters to face a trial. And also on the bottom strip, we have Nigerian teenagers' corpse recovered from Island River. Emeka, let's take a look at Tinubu's 2027 bid. The APC caught opposition governors with high stake offers. What are they actually talking about here?
Yeah, well, thank you. From what we can hear, it's that Tinubu's second term is what is preoccupied APC right now.
Okay.
It's not the hunger in the land. It's not the fact that many people cannot pay their rents or pay their children's school fees. It's not even the jam fiasco that is bothering them. It's about getting Tinubu re-elected by every means fair and foul, and then cutting governors with with second term tickets, and then those governors who will be rounding up their second term by 2027, promising them ministerial appointments and all of that. But you see, the thing is, if you remember, recently, Ibn Ala, a former senator, former member of the House of Representatives, he said that many former federal lawmakers can no longer pay their children's school fees. So all of these things are just fleeting. They're just a pie in the sky. They are not permanent. They're just temporary. So, I mean, for him to have said that, you can imagine all the money that lawmakers made, in previous times. Remember, it was then that they were the ones who started these constituency projects. Yeah. And all other things that they enjoyed, perks of office, they increased their salaries. It actually started from 2002 when the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission said they could fix their salaries. And so, of course, they gave themselves humongous salaries, humongous allowances. So today, a member of the House of Reps is earning 21 million, a member of the Senate is earning 20 million every month. But even at that, what has it fetched them? Look at former governors. Look at former governors. Who knows about them? What are they really enjoying? Former ministers. Former ministers. What are they really enjoying? So you see, the thing is that this desperation, to just entrench, to continue bad governance. That is what, interests them. Tinubu reaching out to governors, don't worry, come, let's have lunch, let's have dinner, let's discuss, and then, of course, win them with all kinds of offers. It shows that Nigerians are not, they don't care about Nigerians, but they don't learn any lessons. Because what about those in the past, those who did such in the past, where are they today? Jonathan did his own, Obasanjo did his own, Yar'Adua didn't live long enough to pursue his second term, Buhari did his own, all kinds of promises. But how many of those promises were kept? If I recall in 2011, when Jonathan called Tinubu then, and begged him to allow him to win Lagos in the presidential election, Yeah, Tinubu kept his side of the bargain, but did Jonathan keep his side of the bargain? The answer is no. That's why they fell out. And then Tinubu chose to go and support Buhari, excuse me, for the 2015 election instead of supporting Jonathan for 2015. Jonathan even fell out with Obasanjo, who supported him in 2011 against Atiku Abubakar, supported him, and then asked him, as it was reported, that he should make one of his associates Minister of Defense or Minister of Interior. But that Jonathan didn't keep that promise, so Obasanjo turned against him. So the thing is that, you see, that's just what is motivating these governors. But most of all is the fear of EFCC, fear of prosecution. That, okay, if you don't support Tinubu, of course, your file will be open. But like Oshomole said, once you join APC, all your sins are forgiven. Even though I've been trying to deny it in recent times. So that's all there is to it.
It's actually a very, very scary situation there. When those in authority are slowly but surely buying up everyone and buying their consciences, buying everything, their loyalty, one would wonder if really 2027 would be decided by electorates and not those in power. But let's take a look at the Daily Trust newspaper for today also. How cost of passports, driver's license data shot up in 2 years. And also on the top strip here, insecurity, Navy to establish a special command in North Central 2027. Atiku Obi deny power sharing deal. And also on the bottom strip here, Zamfara residents flee homes at night, return by daybreak. Bandits kill 4 in Kogi. Another suspected kidnapper arrested on way to Saudi Arabia for Hajj. And let's take a look at issue concerning the 2027 Atiku Obi merger. Yesterday it was all over newspapers that there is a plot by the coalition of Atiku and Obi, possibly Obi having the slot as the vice president, with Atiku desiring to go for one term. Of course, it's been denied now. Where do you think all of this rumor and information are coming from, that they had made newspaper headlines, legacy newspaper headlines, that is?
Yeah, because there's nothing much to report now. So everybody's all eyes on 2027, which is a sad thing about the Nigerian media. We don't talk about the issues that matter. We just talk about, just politics. Governance has now, the media has actually helped politicians to relegate governance to the back burner. And they're talking about 2027. We've not even started implementing the 2025 budget. And then we're talking of 2027. So basically, some of those stories are just being pushed out from my investigation by APC, just trying to see, excuse me, they just threw one story out to see, how the opposition will respond, and to try and know their plans. But Peter Obi has said that there's nothing like that, that he's not desperate for any position, that he's desperate, for good governance, that is fighting against bad government. But you see, the way these APC people are doing it, it shows they are too desperate. You show your hand first by pushing out fake stories into the media. Then you turn around again and you start insulting Obi and Atiku. It shows you that they are not even coordinated. Everybody just trying to show, because everybody wants to make money. That's all. They just want to make money. They just want to make money, show Tinubu they are loyal. That's all. Peter Obi has said he is not in any coalition to discuss power with anybody. That is in a coalition for good governance. Why are you now, if you go on social media, you see people just throwing all kinds of things. This is orchestrated. Why are you, the man says, I'm not interested. I saw one, confused fellow saying on, Facebook, why are you lying at your age? A man says he's not interested in something. You are saying, why is he lying at it? What kind of, what is really wrong with some of us Nigerians? What is it? If a man says he's not interested, you are asking him why he's lying. Are you inside his mind to know what he's thinking about? Are you inside his mind? So you see, that is why, because Nigerians, one, we've been so used to bad governance that we just allow politicians to use our brains. There is no power. We normalize it. The economy, the inflation is high. We normalize it. Roads are bad. We normalize it. What sort of a people are we? Obi and Atiku have said there is nothing like that, and it remains that. It remains that. I ask people. Was it not yesterday? What we have even up to this morning? People were arguing. Peter Obi was not allowed into the Vatican. Tinubu's son was not allowed to shake the Pope. How does that affect the price of Gary? How?
Which is obviously
These
very
people are just
expensive.
bringing optics to distract you people. They brought the video of Tinubu's son being prevented from shaking hands with the Pope. So what? And so what? Obi was not allowed, just a clip of a few seconds. He was not allowed to the. So how does that affect the price of fish? How does it make it possible for people to pay rent? And so what? So people now go to events with their cameras, to be looking at who was bounced and who was not bounced. Does that show? Oh man, we are just a laughing stock. No wonder the world laughs at us, because the things that matter don't matter to us. It's a shame.
Really, a very big one, Emeka, because one would wonder why all over the world, newspaper houses, media organizations are actually there to ensure and also hold leaders to account, hold their feet to the fire and leave it right there. But that is not what we're doing. We're busy pursuing shadow and things that are truly unnecessary. And one would wonder, is this the fourth realm of the state that journalism says it is? But let's take a look at Vanguard just before we leave it for today. 2027, yet again, 2027, why I am in coalition. That's coming from Peter Obi. Emeka, we just finished discussing, and of course, it's still a very big issue here. And right here, we have Vanguard stating yet again that 2027, why I am in coalition, and coming from Peter Gregory Obi. But let's take a look at other matters here. Akpoti Oduaha petitions IGP wants Akpabio Sandra Duru investigated. Tinubu can't afford renewed crisis in Ogoni by forceful oil resumption. Lots of interesting stories here. I just hope that we have all the time to talk about it. Capital market key to achieving $1 trillion dollar economy. Emeka, let's start with Akpoti Uduaha's petitions. IGP wants Akpabio and Sandra Duru investigated. Speak to us on that particular matter.
Well, what is there to say? It's just a continuing disgusting saga, amidst our economic woes. The Sandra Duru, so-called Professor Gbeke, has been going up and down, making allegations and saying all kinds of things. Of course, people who know her background. And I'm surprised that the media is just giving people like this airtime, giving them space. I had to caution a senior lawyer the other day. I said, don't get involved in this thing. I said, don't drag your name into this. Don't drag your name into this stuff, because he was praising Sandra Duru. I said, don't do it. Don't do it, because they will destroy your name. Look, the matter is in court. Why? So let the Sandra Duru go to court and testify on behalf of Akpabio. Why is she disturbing us? I thought there was a judge that gave an injunction that the senator should not grant any interviews. Senator Natasha should not grant interviews again. So why is there now a certain Sandra Duru granting interviews on behalf of Akpabio? What is going on? I think we should not be distracted. These people are very. You see these guys in government, they are smart propagandists. So they are smart propagandists. So they have enough rubbish to keep us distracted. We should have our eyes on the ball. All of this is just their personal all of this is just about their personal issues. It has nothing to do with Nigerians.
All right, Emeka.
Thank you.
Emeka, why would look at the personal issues on this particular front page of the Vanguard newspaper? Capital market key to achieving $1 trillion economy. Do you think it's possible for us to achieve a $1 trillion economy? If it is, how do you think we can go about making that possible? All right, I think we're still having a little bit of a glitch there. All right, so we'll, yes. Okay, are you there?
You mean, yeah, achieving $1 trillion economy?
Is it possible?
You see, the thing with these people is this: people throw up propositions without proper scientific analysis. Is it the capital market that has lost how much in recent days from profit taking? People are taking their profits. Some people are selling their shares. Some are holding their shares. How will you not be saying that it's the key to $1 trillion economy? It can be one of the keys, but not the only key. Because Nigeria is a big economy. And there are different sectors that, if well harnessed, can get us even beyond the $1 trillion economy. There are different sectors that can get us beyond that. Not just $1 trillion. I think $1 trillion is just the value of Google.
Yeah, exactly. Because I wanted to speak about that. That's just the valuation of one company, Microsoft.
Yes. Yeah, that's the value that Elon Musk to become the first dollar trillionaire in the world. But the point is this: the Nigerian economy is big enough, for us to try different angles. But it's not about achieving a $1 trillion economy. The fact is, how are you managing the one we have? That's the issue. How are we managing the one we have? How? We're not managing these things well. And we are borrowing. Excessive borrowing is also impinging on our ability to hit that $1 trillion economy. Then if you look at, so debt servicing is taking a lot of our revenues. Just imagine, what we paid back to the IMF, and we're still owing about $590 million on interest. We're going to pay from now to 2029. Now, convert that money to Naira and see because that loan was not necessary. Buhari just took that money and diverted the money into areas that the loan was not meant for. They used the loan to just be defending the Naira. That's it. So, if we are not taking that loan, of course, do you know how it would have eased up the pressure on our revenues? Then oil theft. Have we been able to tackle oil theft to the extent that we can now say yes confidently that we're moving towards a $2.2 million barrels per day? OPEC is talking of releasing over 400,000 barrels per day. In any moment from now. But our production is not up to that. It's just about 1.5 million barrels per day. And remember, we have a sharing formula 60-40. So the oil majors take 40, we take 60. So, and we just, we don't, there's no value addition. There's little local content going into all of this. So how are we now going to seriously say that we can achieve the $1 trillion economy? And don't forget the capital market they're talking about. You have a lot of briefcase, portfolio investors who just come, put in money. Then when they start looking at their it's like this economy, it's like the capital market, maybe, okay, this is time to repatriate. They remove their money and the market dips again. So I think people should be cautious when they make some of these pronouncements. They should look for researchers, data analysts, people who have who have cognate experience in these things and ask their opinion before just saying anything, you know, because if you make people go and, you know, if you deceive people like all these Ponzi schemes into throwing money into the capital market when it's not the right time, of course, it's not going to be a good thing. No? So let people be careful. And then I'll advise Nigerians, always seek the advice of experts before you invest your money in anything. Thank you.
Very, very true, Emeka. Thank you so very much. There's no gainsaying that every sustainable economy only is achievable when we have the right people leading the pace and directing our affairs. But when we do not have them, where there are a deficit of the right people for the right job, we would keep having, you know, fictional pronouncements and dreams that would be so very difficult to achieve. That's all we have for today. And just to let you know, Emeka will be here to take us on our main conversation, but that's when we return. Federal government moves to phase out satellite campuses, tightens a TED fund access. In a bit, it's still Enterprise Morning. Please don't go anywhere.